All right, let's do it. Today we're diving deep into, well, a baseball mystery. You mentioned you're interested in Seattle and Washington State, and wouldn't you know it, we've got a real head-scratcher right there in the heart of Seattle.
Yeah.
At T-Mobile Park, home of the Mariners.
Right.
Now, you might think you know baseball stadiums, but trust me, this one's got a twist.
It does.
So what we're talking about today, it goes against everything you might think you know about hitter-friendly ballparks.
It really does.
I mean, most people, when they think of a place where hitters rake,
oh, yeah,
they think Coors Field in Denver.
Of course, the Mile High City.
The altitude, right,
Yeah.
the ball just flies.
Absolutely.
But get this, StatCast, which, tracks every single piece of data in baseball nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
They found that in 2024, Coors Field actually boosted offense by 10%.
Okay.
T-Mobile Park, it suppressed it by 11%.
Wow, yeah, a full 11% drop in offense to production.
Compared to the average ballpark.
Right.
And we're not just talking about a one-year fluke here. T-Mobile Park, it has consistently been a below-average hitter's park since it opened.
Yeah, like there's got to be something going on there.
It's wild.
So this is where, you always hear about these park factors.
Right.
It's not just, some stat nerd thing.
Yeah.
They're essential for really understanding how different each stadium is.
Right.
And how that affects the game.
Yeah.
And for T-Mobile Park, this extreme park factor, it makes it so hard to actually evaluate.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Mariners players.
Right. How much is the park?
How much is them? How much is the park?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, real tough to say.
So that's what we're diving into today.
Absolutely.
We found this awesome article on MLB.com that lays out a bunch of different theories.
Okay, yeah.
Each one more interesting than the last.
I'm intrigued.
So theory number one,
Okay.
the batter's eye.
Okay.
Now, for anyone who, might not know what that is,
Right.
it's that dark area in center field.
Yeah, it's supposed to help the hitters.
It's supposed to make it easier for them to see the ball against the background, right?
Exactly, gives them a clear view.
And it seems like the batter's eye at T-Mobile Park has a bit of a reputation
Oh, yeah.
for being, shall we say, uncooperative.
Uncooperative.
I mean, players have been complaining about it for years.
Really?
Teoscar Hernandez, who plays for the Mariners right now,
Uh-huh.
even legends like Ichiro,
Wow.
Edgar Martinez, back in the day,
Oh, yeah.
they've all said it's tough to pick up the ball against that backdrop.
Yeah.
Some have even called it crooked.
A crooked batter's eye.
So the article, it actually digs into this.
Okay.
And it turns out that T-Mobile Park's batter's eye angle is kind of unique.
All right.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Camden Yards in Baltimore, they have a similar setup.
Hmm.
And hitters don't seem to have the same issues there.
That's interesting.
So maybe it's not just about the physical layout of the batter's eye.
Right.
Maybe there's a psychological component here. If hitters believe that it's messing with them,
Okay.
could that be enough to affect their confidence and their performance?
It's possible, right? The mental game in baseball is huge.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, if you think you're going to fail, you probably will.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something to consider.
All right, so theory number 2.
Okay, what do we got?
This one has less to do with design and more to do with, well, good old-fashioned sunshine.
Sunshine, okay.
Brett Boone and Dan Wilson, former Mariners.
Yeah, I remember them.
They both talked about how the evening sun in early games at T-Mobile Park
Yeah.
can be absolutely blinding for hitters.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And even Jerry DiPoto, the Mariners' president of baseball operations,
Right.
he's acknowledged that the sun's position can create some tough visibility situations.
Yeah, I mean, trying to track a 95-mile-per-hour fastball
Exactly.
with the sun in your eyes.
Not ideal.
Not ideal at all.
And the data backs this up, too.
Oh, yeah.
On clear days, Mariners hitters have way higher whiff rates between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m.
Right when the sun's low.
Right when that sun is low in the sky.
Yeah.
But then again,
Yeah.
the sun's angle changes throughout the season.
Of course.
So it wouldn't be a constant factor.
No.
It's a piece of the puzzle, but we need more data to figure out how much it really matters.
Okay, so another piece of the puzzle.
All right, you ready for theory number 3?
Hit me.
This one might be a bit of a curveball.
All right, I like curveballs.
It's all about the wind,
Okay, when?
but not the kind that blows home runs over the fence.
Not the typical wind.
Right, okay, I'm talking about tailwind.
Tailwind?
Wind blowing from the pitcher's mound towards home plate.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And get this,
Yeah.
T-Mobile Park has the most tailwind of any stadium in Major League Baseball,
Really?
tied with Oracle Park in San Francisco.
Another notorious pitcher's park.
Exactly.
Wow, okay.
So how does this tailwind actually affect the game?
Yeah, I'm curious.
So how does this tailwind actually affect the game?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well, the article says it gives a little extra oomph to fastballs.
Okay.
Makes breaking balls a little tougher to control.
So it's like messing with the pitchers a bit, too.
Right. It could throw off a hitter's timing.
Make it harder to adjust to different pitches.
Right.
Fascinating.
And this tailwind thing,
Yeah.
it's a relatively new area of study in baseball.
Oh, really?
Thanks to all the advancements in measuring wind.
Okay.
We're starting to realize just how big a role it plays.
It's like a secret weapon,
Or a secret curse.
depending how you look at it.
And here's another interesting tidbit.
Okay.
Both Mariners pitchers and hitters had noticeably higher whiff rates on fastballs at home compared to on the road.
Okay. Now that's suggestive.
Right.
Makes you think.
All right, last but not least, we got to address the elephant in the room,
Okay.
or rather, the roof over the field.
The roof. All right.
A lot of people think T-Mobile Park is a dome,
I mean, I kind of thought it was a dome.
but it's not quite that simple.
It's not.
It's more like a giant retractable canopy,
Okay.
protects fans from the rain,
Right.
but doesn't fully enclose the stadium,
So it's open to the elements.
including that pesky wind.
Ah, I see.
Like a massive umbrella over the field.
Gotcha.
Now, the Mariners have admitted to closing the roof more often in recent years,
To try and control some of that stuff.
partly to deal with the wind and the cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the data doesn't show any big difference in offense,
Really?
whether the roof is open or closed.
So the roof might not be the main culprit.
Right, so we've got this lineup of potential suspects.
Yeah.
The batter's eye,
Uh-huh.
the Seattle sun,
Right.
the sneaky tailwind,
Yeah.
even the roof.
But who's the real mastermind here?
It's like T-Mobile Park is playing a game of Clue.
And we're trying to figure out the weapon.
Exactly. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
The Mariners, they're not just sitting back and accepting their fate.
No.
They've been trying to crack the code,
Right.
boost their offense.
It's just sure.
I mean, they moved the fences in before.
Yeah. Try to make it a bit easier to hit home runs.
But even that hasn't completely done the trick.
Stubborn Park.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are they doing now? Well,
Yeah.
late in the 2024 season,
Okay.
they made some coaching changes.
Mm-hmm.
And one in particular has people talking.
Okay.
They brought back a Seattle legend,
Oh, yeah.
Edgar Martinez, to be a hitting coach.
Edgar Martinez
Hall of Famer.
spent his whole career in Seattle.
If anyone knows how to navigate the quirks of T-Mobile Park,
Yeah.
it's Edgar.
It's gotta be him.
And remember Edgar?
Oh, yeah.
He was known for his incredible back control,
Amazing hitter.
his ability to hit line drives all over the field.
He was not just a pull hitter.
No.
He used the whole field.
And that might be particularly valuable at T-Mobile Park,
Yeah.
given what we've learned about how the ball doesn't seem to carry as well there.
Especially on those pulled fly balls.
Right.
It's like he was ahead of his time.
It's like he was playing T-Mobile Park style hitting.
Yeah. Before anyone even knew it was a thing.
And what do you know? Edgar comes back,
Uh-huh.
and the Mariners' offense starts to improve,
No kidding.
especially at home.
Right.
They saw a big drop in their strikeout rate
Okay.
and a bump in their OPS.
Which measures a player's overall offensive production.
Right.
Now, it's worth noting it was a small sample size.
Right, just the last month of the season.
And there were some other factors involved, like roster changes.
Of course it's baseball.
It's never just one thing.
Right, never just one thing.
But still,
Edgar's return
it definitely sparked something.
got people wondering if he can be the missing piece
The key to unlocking their offense.
in that tricky ballpark.
It's an interesting thought.
So the article, it dives deeper into the data,
Okay.
beyond just those park factors.
Right.
Trying to understand what's happening to batted balls
Yeah, like what's actually going on.
at T-Mobile Park.
Right.
And one of the most revealing findings
Yeah.
comes from looking at the type of contact hitters are making.
Okay, so remember how we talked about the ball not carrying as well there?
Right.
Well, the data actually confirms that.
Yeah, they compared the actual WOBA.
Weighted on base average.
Yeah, a fancy stat that measures a hitter's overall offensive value.
Right.
They compared that to the expected WOBA
Okay.
based on things like exit velocity and launch angle,
So how well should hitters be performing?
based on how hard and how well they're hitting the ball.
Gotcha.
And guess what they found?
What?
A significant deficit.
Meaning
Hitters at T-Mobile Park, they're underperforming
compared to what you'd expect.
based on the quality of their contact.
Like the park itself is robbing them.
It's wild.
Is this just the T-Mobile thing or?
This difference,
Yeah.
this gap between actual and expected performance,
Yeah.
It was the largest of any ballpark in the majors.
Oh.
For comparison,
Okay.
Coors Field, it actually adds value to a hitter's WOBA.
So hitters perform better than expected there.
Yeah, it's like T-Mobile Park is this offensive black hole.
And Coors Field is like a fountain of runs.
The article even gives this specific example from last season.
Okay.
Cal Raleigh, the Mariners catcher.
Yeah.
He hits this screaming line drive to center field.
Okay.
Off the bat.
Yeah.
It looks like it's headed for the wall.
Maybe even a home run.
But it ends up dying on the warning track.
Oh, man.
Caught for an out.
Brutal.
And the data shows that the wind that day,
Yeah.
it cost that ball 28 feet of carry.
28 feet.
28 feet.
Wow.
It's like the park reached out and snatched those extra bases right out of the air.
It's crazy how much these little things can matter.
I know, right?
So it's not just home runs that are affected.
No, the article says that hard hit balls pulled in the air.
The kind that usually result in extra base hits.
They travel an average of 5.3 feet less than average at T-Mobile Park.
5.3 feet.
That was the second weakest carry of any park in the league.
Wow. So it's like the park is designed to turn doubles into singles.
And singles into outs.
It's tough being a hitter in Seattle.
I know, right?
Ha ha.
So we've got this perfect storm brewing.
Yeah.
A potentially tricky batter's eye.
Uh-huh.
Blinding sun at certain times.
Right.
Wind that seems to favor pitchers.
And a park where the ball just doesn't want to travel.
It's no wonder hitters dread coming to Seattle.
But,
Yeah.
the Mariners, they've still found ways to be competitive.
Sure.
They've built strong pitching staffs.
They can take advantage of those Kirks.
Exactly. And they've had some hitters.
Who've defied the odds.
Sound success in Seattle.
But it does make you wonder,
What?
what if they had a lineup full of hitters who could really thrive in that environment?
Could they become a real offensive powerhouse?
A team that not only survives, but conquers T-Mobile Park.
That's the question, isn't it?
That's the million-dollar question.
It'll be fascinating to see what they do.
It's like they're playing a different game than everyone else.
They have to adjust everything.
Their strategies, their scouting,
Their whole approach to hitting.
just to suit this one ballpark.
It really speaks to the complexity of baseball.
Yeah.
How a single stadium can have such a huge impact.
It's not just about the players on the field
It's about the environment, those unseen forces.
that can shape the course of a game.
And that's what makes T-Mobile Park so interesting.
It's a place where anything can happen.
Where the battle between hitter and pitcher takes on a whole new dimension.
Where a routine fly ball can turn into an adventure.
It's a reminder that in baseball, just like in life,
Yeah.
sometimes the biggest challenges.
It'd also be the most intriguing opportunities.
And this story, it's far from over.
So we've explored all these theories, right?
Yeah.
Crunched the data, seen how the Mariners are trying to figure this whole thing out.
Right. It's a puzzle.
But we got to circle back to Edgar.
Martinez.
The return of Edgar Martinez as hitting coach.
Right.
It's like the article is hinting at something here.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
That Edgar, with his unique style of hitting and his, deep knowledge of T-Mobile Park,
He knows that park like the back of his hand.
could be the key to unlocking the Mariners' offense.
It's a nice thought.
I mean, remember,
Yeah.
Edgar wasn't a power hitter.
Not in the traditional sense.
He was all about bat control.
Spraying line drives all over the field.
It's like he was born to hit in a park like T-Mobile.
I mean, it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And the article says that Edgar's been emphasizing a liners up the middle approach
Okay.
with the Mariners hitters.
So instead of trying to yank everything for a home run,
Right. Focus on solid contact.
drive the ball back up the middle,
And given how the ball doesn't carry as well at T-Mobile Park,
especially on those pulled fly balls.
it's a strategy that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, work with the park, not against it.
And remember,
Yeah.
we saw some promising signs.
When Edgar came back,
The Mariners strikeout rate went down. Their OPS went up.
small sample size.
Right. But
Suggests that this new approach might have some legs.
so will it work?
Big question.
Will this new philosophy help the Mariners finally crack the code?
Will they go from a team that struggles to score at home
To a team that thrives.
in this unique environment?
It's going to be fun to watch.
For sure.
And it's a real credit to the Mariners
Yeah.
that they're not just throwing their hands up.
They're trying to find solutions.
They want to conquer T-Mobile Park.
It's a good attitude to have.
So as we wrap up our deep dive here,
Yeah.
I think the biggest takeaway is this.
What's that?
T-Mobile Park. It's a microcosm of baseball itself.
Okay.
It's a reminder that it's not just about individual talent.
It's about strategy,
adaptation.
the interplay between player and environment.
Exactly.
It's fascinating.
It forces us to rethink everything.
Yeah.
How we evaluate players, how we evaluate teams.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach to success in this game.
Sometimes you got to adapt.
Innovate, find a new way to play.
And sometimes that means going against conventional wisdom.
Embrace a style that others might dismiss.
So the next time you watch the Mariners play,
Okay.
whether you're at T-Mobile Park or watching from home,
Right.
remember everything we've talked about today.
Pay attention.
How are the hitters approaching their at-bats?
Trying to hit those towering home runs.
Or are they focusing on line drives, working the ball to all fields?
Playing the game Edgar's way.
And think about the bigger picture here,
Yeah.
the role that the environment plays.
It's not just about numbers on a stat sheet.
It's a story,
A drama.
a battle between human skill and the forces of nature.
And this story.
It's just getting started.
So much more to come.
Keep your eyes peeled, your minds open.
And your scorecard's handy.
The next chapter in the T-Mobile Park saga is about to begin.
Can't wait to see what happens.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
We'll see you next time.
for another fascinating exploration of the world around us.
Absolutely.